Look me up on Google, search the classics, you crazy bass. Hold me up and pull me down. It's a battle royale in the eye of the storm. Drowning in the shallows when the path is getting narrow. I'ma ride it out on this broken arrow. Fuck it. Hold me up.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
How's everybody doing? I know it's been a minute. It's been a long time. We've been on an extended break. We didn't break up. Nothing like that. Nothing crazy. Schedules got in the way. So we decided to switch up the format a little bit. But I want to go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Kenny Knewell, and with my homie, my brother, Metro, Wesley. What's up? Say what's up, buddy.
What up, man? This is Metro. Boom. Welcome to Unfiltered Idiots podcast. As we said, we've been trying to, get our schedules together. We realize this is probably why a lot of people do it this way, where they'll do a Zoom or whatever, some sort of little quick call to each other. So we're going to try to get together like once a week, hopefully, and do the normal type show, if you will. But we realize like some of these issues are obviously the news. It's daily, every couple of days. So we're going to try to really get some more content out to everybody that's going to be time sensitive. And so this what we're working on. So Kenny, what you been up to, man? What's been going on?
Dude, and you know what, guys, I gotta say, Wes has been on my ass about getting recording, but it's not his fault. It is all my fault. I take full ownership of this. No, to be honest with you, dude, I've just been busy. Got a huge promotion at work, and obviously with the kids,
Round of applause.
It dominates my life, but it's important that I right take some time out of my schedule to talk about the important issues that we were touching on before. It's gotten crazier if you think about it. Some of the things that you've sent me, Wes, I'm just shaking my head still, and in that respect, it's going to get worse, right? Like as election season rounds the corner. But yeah, I will absolutely say that the reason why more Unfiltered Idiots episodes have not been pumped out is because of me. But it's it is what it is. And Wes, yeah, put that back up, bud. Put that back up. Let me see that. So Wes, he decided to put this in my face all show, so I'll try to not be too distracted. But what have you been up to, man? What have you been up to?
Bear down. Not much, man. Just been is you said as well. Just kind of running my business as a personal trainer. For those who've never seen our show, Kenny is the property management field. What promotion did you get, Kenny? Should let him know that.
Yeah, so I was promoted to a director's role, and I'm overseeing a lot of properties right now. And I'm responsible for like the third party for our entire company in Colorado. So, crazy, good crazy though, really good crazy. So all good things.
Good.
Hopefully one day, this show will take off like I want it to, and I will do this full time.
Exactly. And so for me, obviously, personal trainer, my business called Metro Functional Fitness. And yeah, dude, just love what I do, man. And yeah, that's about it. Nothing too crazy. I really work on finding new clients all the time, all that. So if anybody's out there looking for a trainer, hit me up. I might have availability. It just depends. I have like a lot of clients that like to travel, so I get that. I like to travel too. So sometimes it's, I have 35 hours a week of training, and I'm like, oh man, then other weeks is 45, 50. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, cause it's a lot as a trainer. Especially when you go to people, about 40% of the time I go to people. I have obviously my gym as well too.
Right.
But when you're going to people a lot, it's a lot. Like you're kind of have to, schedule appointments about 15 minutes apart. I usually like schedule when I do go to people, I do it all like in one big,
Right.
I schedule it the right way. So I'm not driving away, all over the place.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
One thing about that, it's good to be busy. It's good to be busy,
Yeah.
and you're not sitting at home, you're making your coins and you're taking care of my sis, Gina Princess. So
Yes,
I love
sir.
that. I appreciate that. So you keep
Yes.
grinding. You keep grinding.
Yeah, man,
Uh,
I'm definitely working on it, man. I had two clients today, like a 9 and a 10, and then right after that, about 45 minutes after that, I did started doing my workout, and then yeah, man. So it's just a grind, dude. As you well know,
yeah.
it's your health is your wealth, man. Your wealth is
Yeah.
your health. If your health declines, your wealth will decline. If your wealth declines, your health will decline. They are tied
Hand in
together.
hand,
So
yeah. So
yeah,
so anyone that so I just kind of want to recap a little bit about what we're about, right? So we started a podcast in 2020 amongst the world pandemic, right? And there were a lot of things, different things that were going on that we couldn't stay silent about. And I know that you and I had conversations via text and over phone, and we're like, man, we really need to talk about these issues. And because a lot of the things that we saw weren't right, right? So
yeah,
that's really how this Unfiltered Idiots franchise kind of came to life. It was based off of not only the world pandemic, but we had a batshit crazy president.
yep,
We had social issues, right, that were being ignored by a lot of people. So anyone that's new to watching this or coming to us, that's really what we're about. And what you'll see is Wes and I are really in the middle of things, right? And when I say in the middle of things, I'm talking political. So there's things that we agree upon on the Democrat side. There's things that we agree upon on the Republican side. But at the end of the day, our message will be what's right is right, right? And
yeah,
we're gonna call out those things that are wrong for
yeah.
sure.
And to be like clear with everyone, when we say the middle, I think the like Joe Biden's are like the right in a sense. So um he's probably not right, I should say that. But we look at things from a perspective of, what are we talking about, right? So when somebody asks me what am I always tell them, like, what do you mean? Like, what are we talking about? If we're talking about, social and personal freedoms, right? Like social issues, I'm libertarian to the core, right? So like your body, your choice, my body, my choice. However, somebody's born, gay, straight, LG, I could give two rats. That's their, how they were born. So if that's, too left for certain people, then this is probably not the show for you. And
You crazy
challenge,
liberal.
I would challenge you to like stop saying that you're the party of freedom. If you think you're about freedom and you're about, obviously imposing your religious views through legislation, your hatred towards whomever, whether you have an issue with white, black, you know, brown skinned folks, whether they're Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, like, right, et cetera, et cetera. And if you want the control of your own body and you're not willing to let somebody else have the control of their own body, then yeah, I would argue that you're not party, in the right
Right,
mindset, and you're not about freedom. You're about being authoritarian and about being, really that's just it. And you can
right,
have authoritarian left, and you can have authoritarian right. Somebody like Stalin or Mao would be a good example of like authoritarian on the left, where they had left wing, economics, but they had, authoritarian views. Like they had issues with gays and basically anybody that
right.
wasn't like whatever religious that they, Christian,
Well,
whites, or whatever,
even Joe Biden and Barack Obama weren't for gay marriage right at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
So and you guys, we're not going to go out on a tangent here. We just kind of wanted to let you know what we talk about. And again, another thing that I wanted to I'm not going to touch on it today because this is a huge subject for me, but there's unconscious bias, right? That's a big thing that they're teaching, not only in my work, but they're teaching it, all over the nation. So those are topics that we'll get into. And then also, Wes and I are huge, huge sports fans. So we also have an edition, which is called Sports Edition.
Sports edition.
Sports Edition.
Um,
So, if anyone knows, I am a diehard Denver Bronco fan. Wes is a diehard Bears fan, unfortunately. I don't know why, because they lose continuously. Um, so
Dude,
we,
you guys haven't been in the playoffs since 2015, something like that. So
but that's the last time we won the Super Bowl as well. So,
true, good point.
you know,
But since then,
here we go.
there's only
Here,
like three teams.
oh gosh,
You're one
here we
of
go.
only three teams with the least amount of wins. It's like you, the Jags. Actually, I think the Jags just
You,
passed
the
you guys.
Jags and the
So
Bears.
no, we have more than that since
Okay.
2015.
And then
Hey,
so
we're in the playoffs for like 3 years.
there's a running joke with Wes, um, not only with me but with his other friends. If you follow his Facebook page, anytime the Bears lose and have a losing season, it's not because they're terrible, it's because of
Oh, they're terrible.
the
They're terrible
refs.
this year.
It's because of Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
Just scheduling.
It's
Well,
scheduling.
this year I mean, when the team loses as a whole, that's different. I do say that they weren't good this year. But what I'm talking about was like individual things, like individual calls and things like that. And we all see it. We all saw what happened, which Kenny complained about in the with KC and the Bengals. I
Fourth and
saw
30.
yeah, I saw a
No, no, no,
couple
no, no, no. Ninth down and 20, something like
what
that.
was it? I saw a couple of those, like, and it's a combination of, like I tell everybody, I think the NFL is 95% legit, whatever, 90% legit. I'm not one of those people who think like that it's scripted. I mean, that's the most insane thing in the world. But I do think that like the refs favor certain players, and if you have one of those players that are all over telly and the discount double check bullshit, now it's Patrick Mahomes, they're going to get the calls. They do this in every sport, and that's the 10% that I think is, I wish they would kind of clean up. I mean, you have refs that just miss calls, and then you have, like, I think borderline like deliberately making or missing calls that help certain players get
Yeah,
in.
so
And yeah,
you've made this point to me for a couple of years now, right? And I didn't really, honestly, swear to God, did not see it until I watched that Kansas City game. I was
yeah.
just I was flabbergasted. I was mad, I was enraged. I'm not even a Bengals fan, right? But it's
Well,
just
but you're a
like
Bronco fan, so you want KC to go. So
true. Yeah.
that's exactly why.
That's
If you're
exactly
a
right.
KC fan, you're like, oh man, everything was legit.
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
the Bengals kind of got screwed in multiple ways this year. I mean, the rules, for example, they tweeted this out themselves. The rules state that, and they tweeted this whole thing out. This is why the Bengals were upset about what happened with that Bills game. All due respect to DeMar, obviously great story that he ended up thankfully being within like 10 minutes of one of the best
trauma
trauma
one.
centers
Yeah.
in the country. We have one of them here too, at the Anschutz facility. But anyways, so there's rules that like that are actual, PA rule, right? So these are rules agreed upon. And if a game has to get canceled for any reason, they have like examples like weather, whatever, something that happens. Whoever team was winning at that point, that game is over, and the
Mhm.
Bengals are winning 7-3. Now, it didn't end up. I mean, they end up getting to Kansas City regardless. So the
Right.
argument that like that they, you know, but they could have possibly
No,
had
no,
a
no,
little
no,
bit
no, no.
easier.
I
Yeah,
hear what you're saying. I
yeah.
definitely
They
hear
should
what
have
you're
had a home
saying.
game against Buffalo. Like they shouldn't have had to
Right.
go on the road against Buffalo.
Right.
And because they should have had that win. And
Hmm.
damn, if they would have got knocked out in Buffalo and it was close and everyone thinks, oh, the home game, home team, man, I would have been, if I was a Bengals fan, and sure shit, if you're one of the players, you're like, yo, we got hosed
Yeah.
to not
Yeah.
get to play at home. But
And I'm kind of glad that
yeah,
it didn't. I'm glad
of
that it didn't
course,
shake
yeah,
out that way, just
yeah,
because and I say this, there's a lot of conspiracies around the NFL right now. A ton
yeah,
of conspiracies, right? They think there are people that think that the NFL is scripted. There's things, I mean, at the end of the day, like those refs are human. Um,
yeah.
Roger
It's definitely not
Goodell, Roger
scripted. Yeah,
Roger Goodell is gonna cave to whatever pressures on Twitter that day. So you know what I mean? It's just like I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. I'm a little wary of the NFL these days for sure.
I mean, like I said, it's definitely not scripted. I mean, when people say that that kind of stuff, that's what irritates me, because then like the moment anybody says like, oh my God, how could they make like these like 3 or 4 super questionable calls, and then you get those people that come out and go, see, I told you, dude, everything's scripted, bro. And it's like, scripted is ridiculous. That's the WWE, where like there's nobody in the WWE that would say, oh yeah, we don't go over like what the outcomes, we don't practice on how to toss each other.
Right.
Like they say that. You're
Right.
talking about 100,000 plus people over the course of the NFL's, and let's just take, especially in the last, you know, 50, 60 plus years, where it's really became this like televised. You're talking about, I mean, just hundreds of thousands of people that would have knowledge of something like this. I mean, maybe in the millions, that would all have to be quiet. I mean, come on, dude. Like the best mafioso on the planet, like the Gambinos couldn't even get people quiet. They were running it, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so like, so that's so outlandish to say that. But like I said, I think they absolutely, you know, miss calls. One, of just completely missing it. I think they're human. I think they're watching. Like let's take like a Justin Fields or Patrick Mahomes, any Russell Wilson. I mean, any of these, hell, Tom Brady, any whoever it is. I don't care if they're running around, but now imagine a guy's running around. You are going to naturally, like, you're the back judge when you're supposed to be looking at if somebody holding, right, like while he's doing that, and you're going to naturally go, oh my God, he just shredded that guy's sack attempt, and oh my God, he's running over there. And then you're like, and then we go, how did he miss that
Right.
hold by the right tackle, where the guy literally tackled the dude and was like punching him in the face? And
Right.
you're like, and people are like, oh, and they go back and show the replay, and you literally can see that ref's eyes where he's watching Lamar Jackson make all these crazy movements. Aaron Rodgers, he makes some crazy 50-yard throw. And I think there's that element to it. And then I also think there's the element where they are, you know, trying to make games continue. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't like the Vikings, but that Giants game, there was things that I don't know. It didn't matter the Giants won, but there was things that I was going like, oh my God, like how can you
Yeah.
call, like, yeah, just bad shit. Just
It's bad. And I just wanted to let my partner Wes know that I've gotten the 10-minute warning on this Zoom call from Zoom.
nice.
But I will also say that it took Wes like 30 minutes on this Zoom call to get ready
We didn't
for the
start
Zoom
recording
call.
for like we didn't start recording for like 20
It's,
minutes.
I don't know.
But we don't have a time. We don't have a time limit. We can do whatever we want.
No,
They can.
no.
They can let us just keep rolling. So that's kind of some of the things that we typically talk about for those of you who've never watched. Now we usually keep those two things separate.
Yeah.
This is kind of our reintroduction. It's our grand reopening. Just kidding. We just had to really get some stuff together. Like so Kenny had some stuff going on with him as far as his promotion. He's got 2 younger kids. My kids are older, but I still have things that that they cause, even as older people. There's still things that they cause my time.
Right.
I.e. puppies. So if Braden's watching this, you son of a, just kidding. Love you guys. But no, dude. So one of the things that, before we kind of get out of here in a couple minutes, one of the things that we really want to kind of touch on, and Kenny brought this up, that in order for us to fix an issue, right, whatever that issue may be, personally, societal issues, whatever it might be, there's that knowing of something and then admitting that there's an issue with it, right? So in our society, we have so many people who want to deny things that are happening. And Kenny talked about in his world, right, in the housing world. Well, let's unpack that for a second, because there was a report that was released by the Biden White House, where they allowed a company come in there and I believe it was from 2013 to 2021, and look at 47 million, I believe, different appraisals, excuse me, across the country. And what they found, now depending on the market, obviously, but you had disparities from 80 to $150,000 difference of what, and this was like, I mean, not just one, this was like systematic, which is exactly what people, Black people, brown people have been saying. And this is, a problem. They found that their homes in the same, like these are homes, same neighborhood, right? Like just like a market comparison. I went to school for real estate. Kenny knows this stuff as well, obviously in the property management field. Um, when you have a market comparison, if I'm comparing Kenny's home to figure out how my client or my customer's home is going to sell, apparently. So when that appraisal comes out, that appraiser, what they found was when it was a white appraiser, some even were, which was really wild, but it's predominantly was white appraisers were appraising homes of black folks or brown folks that were anywhere from $80,000 to $150,000 less for the exact
Right.
same type home. There was no, like they said, they have photos of all these homes too, guys. So I don't want you to start saying, well, what if this one house was updated? No, these are people who know what they're looking at. They know how to appraise a home, and you don't just randomly have this massive disparity. And so what people were doing, were taking down their family photos before an appraiser would come, and they would
Yeah.
all leave, and they would like try to, which is just so disgusting that's still to this day. This is not 1980, guys. This is 2013 to 2021. This is current. This is not, it was worse during those times, of course, but this is still a problem. The systemic issues that we have, whether that's the working class being attacked by their overlords, if you will, the CEOs and the CTO, like, right, the CFO is trying to constantly figure out how to pay them less money. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
so
it's
these
systemic.
are the things, like I'm getting my juices pumping, but we only got a few more minutes. But Wes, you hit a great point there. These are all the things that we will talk about. We encourage all of our listeners and viewers to interact with us on these things because it's important and it's real and it's raw. And we are totally unfiltered. You know, it is what it is. Some people love us, some people hate us. That's fine. But we're going to continue to do what's right, get the right message out there amongst the clouds, the noise, and all of that stuff. So I'm excited to get this back up and running. Our grand reopening of Unfiltered Idiots podcast. We're going to pump these out. I think we're going to try to pump these out at least twice a week.
Yeah.
At least the Zooms, and then we're obviously going to be in person doing that as well. So thank you guys. Don't forget
Yeah.
to like our Instagram. It is unfiltered underscore idiots IG and Unfiltered Idiots podcast on Facebook. All of that good stuff. Interact
Yeah.
with us, share your thoughts. We are This is going to be a fun ride. I'm excited because us incorporating Zoom into this lets us pump out more content faster. And it's going to be a wild ride. I know it's political season, so thank you.
It's
Yeah.
always political season. I mean, these folks are constantly attacking, and they're always trying to um do whatever they can to contain and get more power. I mean,
Yeah.
as they say, power wants absolute power. And that's, we have to understand that we have to attack them from that standpoint. We should have the rights as workers. We should have the power. We're the ones that do all the producing, all the services, all that, and
Yeah.
somehow we just have no problem funneling them 99.9% of the money. So
Right. Right.
yeah, so that's a problem. But yeah, check us out, everyone. We're also obviously going to put YouTube, Spotify, wherever you can find your
I forgot
podcast.
about that. Yeah, Anchor app, all
Yeah,
that stuff. Wherever you
Anchor.
find
Yeah.
your podcast, we're gonna get all that stuff up and running, guys. Um,
Yes.
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yep.
I love it.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We out.
We
Peace.
out. Peace.